Hey everybody, this is John, and this is for the free video for Simpler Options. It is the morning, actually Tuesday morning. The market's going to open up in 1 minute and 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1. Just wanted to talk a little bit about a play like this on Apple. So we did an earnings play on this. The expected move was $27. You can see we're going to be up about, let's call it $7 or $8 at the open. Pretty healthy pre-market volume right there. And the plays here, so the different ways to play this, I'm going to move this down just a little bit. I want to still see the clock. Let me see if I can put it right there. Yeah, I guess we can kind of see it. So you can see we went 2 standard, 1.5 standard, and 1 standard deviation. So 2 standard deviations sold the 590 calls naked, 1.5 sold the 575, 580, $10 spread, and then sold the at the money straddle. Okay, this will, on a move like this will cash in pretty quickly this morning, and then sold a 1.5 standard deviation put, didn't get the entire fill, and then naked 475 puts. Okay, 10 seconds, 9. Then you can see essentially how quickly, just because of implied volatility implosion, which is the earnings play, how quickly this turns into a profit. And bam, we're open, and there we go. So just an immediate, that's all pure 100% theta decay, and at this point you just kind of get out. Now the question would be, well John, what if it opened up $30? Well, then you do different strategies. Obviously on the straddle would be about break even at that point, because the money you'd make on the put in that case you'd lose on the call, and then you'd have to work on kind of the more the extremities. Okay, so there's a couple different scenarios. And then if it does move up, like if you guys remember Google when it gapped up, if it gaps up through 1.5 standard deviations, you start selling at the money put spreads at the open using that first 5-minute bar, okay, as kind of your tool. But at this point I'm just kind of looking like, okay, so what is the, so on the call side here, so I sold it for 15 bucks, it's at 11, okay, and that's because we're gapping up a little bit here. And then the put side sold at 16, it's at 3. And on something like this, essentially this is the money that's being made. The more, if for some reason Apple goes quiet and starts pulling back, that would be a good thing for the call, but not so good for the put. So at this point, I think my max profit on this trade, if everything expired worthless, would be like maybe 29,000. So now the question is, do you become the greedy little piggy and try to get every last dollar? And the answer is absolutely not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and we're going to sell the puts. So just close that out. I'm not going to be a dick for a tick. The midpoint 340, that's where I could probably get out for the best price, but I just want out. I've made my money. Okay, I don't need to be dick for tick. Do not be dick for tick. Not wise. And let's go ahead and just roll this, get this one out. Made a few bucks on that one. And the idea here is that as we're in this trade, okay, that let me see what I got filled on that because it dropped quite a bit. The idea with this is that as you're in a trade, you never want to resort to hope. Okay, oh, maybe I can make a little bit more on that. Oh, 1165, bastards. Sorry, excuse me. That dropped to 10, and they filled me at the market. So that was nice. I got a little hosed on that, but that's all right. Still made money on it. That's fine. Maybe the market maker was hosed. Now I just look at this. Now the 590 call is at 12 cents. Do I need to worry so much about this one? No. Now what I can do, though, is I can just put an order here to buy this back. Now remember, when you buy these back for a nickel, it's free commission. Okay, it's commission-free trade. There's no reason why that shouldn't go at a nickel. Now I could probably also just let it expire worthless. But when you buy it back at a nickel, you're not only is it a commission-free trade, but you are taking the risk off. And when you're in a trade, the whole idea is to take off the risk. Okay, take off the risk, take off the risk, take off the risk. Let's arrange positions by order. Okay, so now on the puts here, same thing here. I could let this expire worthless, but what if Apple crashes? Suddenly, I could close out this entire spread for 2 cents, 3 cents. But what if it goes to max loss? So essentially I'm risking max loss for 3 cents. Now, don't get me wrong, I like letting stuff expire worthless, and it's probably a good chance that it can, but why? At this point I'm just gonna try to buy back the short side for a nickel. That becomes a commission-free trade. And I actually technically should do these as good till cancel orders if they don't get filled today. All right, so that one's working, and that got filled actually right away. Okay, so I'm out of that one. The call spread, 575, 580 call spread. Same thing. Let's come over here. We're just going to buy back the short side, which is the 575 calls for a nickel. You can, obviously it's not trading there right now. I'm counting on theta decay. And let's do good till cancel. Obviously I'll keep an eye on that in case Apple just takes off. And there. So now at this point what I got to do, oh, the puts here. So that's an easy one. And let's drop that to 5 cents for the 475 naked puts. So what I'm doing here, and especially with the naked options, is I'm alleviating buying power pressure as well. So these won't fill right away, but what will happen is, depending on what Apple does, obviously the theta decay will kick in and we'll go from there. Okay? So anyway, just kind of an example. Just anytime when you do a earnings trade and it's within the expected market maker move, it's great because it's immediate cash. Then you want to do what you can to quickly collect that cash and not risk it, because I mean, how many times have you seen a market like Netflix? It gaps up and then drops 80 points. Well, if you didn't take off your puts right away, that was kind of a nasty bit of business there. So anyway, that's just the way to manage it like that. All right. So hopefully you found that helpful. You guys have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you at the next update.